And then condition number 2, which I think is really, really important, is permission to act. Do something. Do something about those emotions. Do something to regulate those emotions. Go and experience. What I've seen with young folks is this desire to make the emotions go away, the negative ones, right? Make the negative emotions go away right now. And you see folks trying to do that, and it often shows up in short-term fixes, quick fixes, right? Avoidance works really well, right? But the problem with that is what? You're not learning how to regulate. You're not learning how to surf the wave. You're just avoiding the beach altogether, right? So what we have to teach young people is you have to go and experience. You have to go and try to bring it down from an 8 to a 7 to a 6. And for some people, it's reading a book. For some people, it's some meditative work. For some people, it's listening to music. For some people, it's having a good conversation with you, right? Define what that looks like for any one individual. And it's important to build mastery experiences. What do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. I'm an aunt of 4. And very recently, over the summer, my niece and nephew came to visit. They're from California, and they came to stay with us for about 3-4 weeks. And one night, we were ready to call to take out, to order something. And my 13-year-old nephew says, oh yeah, just order online. They're so quick with their, I'll just order this, And I was like, just call. And you should have looked at the way he looked at me. Like, what do you mean you just call? Is that a New Hampshire thing? Like this is what New Hampshire people do? We Californians don't do that, right? And I'm thinking, just call. And we were, we have this relationship where we can have fun with it, but it became this experiment. At this teaching moment, if you will, from, New Hampshire auntie of it's not just a New Hampshire thing that we call. You need to learn how to dial a phone, and call and place an order. And he did, but I had to coach him, and I couldn't believe that I had to do this. You enter the phone. When they pick up, you say hello. They might ask you, is it delivery or right? You coach them, and he's thinking, oh my God, this is the craziest thing. But you coach them, and he was able to, and we ended up getting our food. Success. But that might be an easy moment to have just say, yeah, sure, just online order. But think about this young man who someday may have to call and make a doctor's appointment for himself, or needing to call for an emergency, or needing to call for something, right? And sure, it was just takeout, but the skills in which he learned in that moment can be extrapolated in other areas of his life, and something that I know firmly that he can draw upon later in his life. But it's mind-boggling to me that a 13-year-old couldn't pick up the phone to order something, and that it was emotionally challenging. I'm thinking, do you remember the days with you go like this with the phone? See, I'm among friends. All right, so part of what I think what we need to do for young people is allow them to feel and inviting them to act. You got to experience, you got to try. Bulldozer parents, listen up. Stop it. You are robbing your young person an opportunity to learn something that they will figure out. You did. Trust in the child that you've raised. But by you clearing the path every single time, you're actually robbing them experiences of mastery. So stop it.